already fucked him enough today. I've already fucked him enough. I don't think there's any point playing that trash. I think we've already fucked him too hard. There's no point continuing with this. Waste of fucking time. Holy shit. Yo, the boxless hobo with the 6 months. Slick go crazy with the tier 1 googly. With
This
the tier
needs
1.
to be a sitcom or a movie.
Thank you guys.
Warlord
Okay.
rolls Hackerman evil Pepega Toofy. You hurrah. You hurrah.
We already fucked him 5 times over in the past 24 hours. I think he's fucking crying. Yo, Ricky Ross with the 5 gifted subs. At this point, I'm bullying him. Ricky Ross with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, man. At this point, he's being bullied. He's literally being bullied. Then again, he fucking deserves it. Let's be fucking real here. We destroyed them too hard, chat. There's nothing left. They're gone. They're finished. There's nothing left of them to even acknowledge at this point.
Is he in love with you? You
I think so.
You know Toofy isn't as bad as he seems. He might actually be a nice guy. Just kidding, he's a fucking cheater who sucks big hairy nuts. Dialysis, dialysis, I dialysis, it's in a dialysis, dialysis, I dialysis.
Facts. Oh, I'm fucking. I don't know, we're dead. Dead as fuck. So many teams. Facts.
Is 2 tins, and it's Licks, so we know Licks is going to go for landing. Now, bonus I just thought of, and I actually experimented with when Sicilians first came out. Sicilian transport ships, and this was in my video I uploaded about Sicilians, they're almost impossible to kill. I think they're unbelievably tanky, but because transport ships are not usually something you see, I don't think the devs ever really thought of nerfing that. Also, Sicilians build their town centers and their castles faster. So in theory, could you just go for a castle drop? Maybe a castle drop is too risky. I still think feudal age play would be good, but if we're talking 2 villagers being transported over to the WWP island, 2 villagers with Sicilians can build a castle awfully quick. So I guess we'll find out. But yeah, in this group, again, this is the 2 winners of after the first round of this group. Winner here moves on to a quarterfinal spot in the main event, I guess. And then loser here still is alive in the group and will probably be even favored to move on out of the group later on. But just how the group stage is structured. Did you get a new mic since Hidden Cup? It sounds smooth. No, I did drop my mic like 3 different times, though, so maybe it fixed some issues. I didn't make any changes. Yo with a dock on the side. And the expectation is that he's going to go for fire galleys or galleys. Winchester with a dock on the back. I feel like both are tempted to go for galley openings. Licks doesn't care. Fishing ships on the front. Who cares how exposed that is? I just want to be able to get to the enemy's island ASAP. He's on the way. He's sending 2 villagers. Yeah, Licks is going to go for landing. Now, in the 2v2 World Cup, we also had Team Islands. And Licks and Yo just dominated people with this. So I'm really curious to see if anyone can stop them. I think arguments could be made that Licks and Yo are the best 2v2 Team Islands team. You could make that argument because they beat everyone on it in the 2v2 World Cup.
HC4 was so hype.
Granted, now it's clans, so now like all the best players can stack together. It doesn't matter where you're from, so it does make it more complicated with teams like I think MBL Nikov are on a team in this tournament, though I could have that wrong. You know, Hera Leary, Scout Slam, Viper Tato, who couldn't compete together. But you almost expected at this point. No one's been able to find a real way to break this meta, so we're starting to see some walls. Thank you, Fresmu. Nice to see you. Welcome back. Rebecca says, on a map like this, would market trade early be good? Depends how early you're talking. Early, meaning early imp? Yes. Because these games can get crazy and sometimes crazy long. Okay, so there's the barracks from Licks, which is interesting because if you're expecting the enemy to land you, sometimes you're just going to make that barracks at home. But that's actually not what's happening. Classic Pro is actually making the stable at home, so they must know that this is coming. And so he just wants to make defensive military. Meanwhile, over here, Yo's making galleys. Over here, we have galleys for Winchester. We'll keep an eye on those players. But the... okay, now they know. I was just about to say, Classic Pro and Winchester have not spotted the landing yet. And Classic Pro could be down a villager already. So Classic Pro has more fishing ships in the back. If you look back here, as we see the quick wall attempt and fail, he's got 4 fish. Licks only has 2, so in theory, Classic Pro's eco is more than fine here. But the thing about this rush is it can snowball on you, and then Licks is a pest, dude. Licks is just going to stay here forever with those villagers. They'll turn strong feud age attack into strong castle age attack. And Teutons are amazing with the Monk Siege push, Knights to back it up. Also, Licks loves the cheap farms here, too. But it's interesting how they must expect some type of landing at their base, so they're starting to wall up, too. Even though I think he can tell now that the scouts are coming from home for Classic Pro. So water's still a factor, but those players just taking it easy right now. I think both teams kind of playing this correctly in many ways. With Sicilians, playing into early farms would be good too, because your farms do have a lot of food on them after the farm upgrades. Right. Bams, it is my plan to cast with, to cast Tato and Viper next. I think Tato, Viper, shoot. Why did I answer this question? I forget who they're playing, but I should know. It slipped my mind. I wasn't ready to talk about it. Yes, of course I'm casting the next set. Okay, now, it's really awkward with yellow and green. Oh, yeah, it's Vietnam A, of course. ACCM. And say my name. See how these scouts loop around here? I think what Licks is looking for, or what Classic Pro is looking for, is Licks' Vills. Which is rather funny because the villagers were fighting with the spearmen. It's like, he's going back here because this is normally where the Vills would be. But the Vills are Licks villagers and they go forward. It's such a Licks thing. But it's also, it keeps them the safest, I guess. And yeah, there is a hole here. It's a good point. Oh! Licks' villagers are going to get caught out. This is huge with the landing situation, guys. Yep. Licks loses both villagers. Worth it to lose all your scouts, honestly, to get it. He loses, what, 2 or 3 there out of the 5 or 6 he had and gets out of there. And now Licks can't make an archer range, which is really common when the enemy goes for defensive spears or when the enemy's walled. And also, Winchester sent 2 galleys this way and sniped the fishing ships from Licks, whereas Classic Pro has had his fish safe in the back. So I prefer Winchester in Classic Pro's position. If Winchester actually clicked up the cascade, Yo isn't even close to clicking up.